Hello trainers, Professor Palm here. And trainers, happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Yeah, I know that I'm wishing Mother's Day a little bit early, but to be fair, I think this whole weekend should be Mother's Day weekend. After all, I don't think just one day is enough for a mother. I think she needs an entire weekend to herself. After all, she does so much for all of us. In the world of Pokemon, there is no shortage of mothers. There are so many to see us off in our games. Even though we're leaving home, we know that they're going to cheer for us no matter what. And even in some games, they expect us to call them because they want us to tell them everything that's going on. Even Pokemon themselves have plenty of mothers. There are plenty of parent Pokemon that watch over their young and wish the best for them. To me, in the world of Pokemon, there is only one parent Pokemon that really stands above the rest, and surprisingly does stand a lot better than any human mother. That, of course, is Kangaskhan. This is the prime example of how a Pokemon can be a great parent and a great mother. Unlike our mothers in most of the games that see us off when we're 10 years old, Kangaskhan will watch over its baby forever because it has a very strong bond to its child, and it never wants the child to be in trouble or scared. Other than to the baby inside of her pouch, Kangaskhan has a humongous heart, and it goes out to everyone it meets. It doesn't just belong to the baby. It will always care for its trainer, and it will also care for any other Pokemon it meets out there. That's because this Pokemon's motherly instincts know no bounds. Everyone is welcomed in its arms, and everyone is welcome to become one of its family members. Kangaskhan isn't just a mother to one Pokemon. She is a mother to all. Did you ever find that your own mothers were also really tough on you and also really did anything that they could to protect you? Well, Kangaskhan is one of those. Not only does she have a very big heart, she's also a very strong and also a very tough mother. Anything that hurts her child, makes it sad, or any of her loved ones will be beaten to a pulp by her. Not just because she's a big mama, but because she's also strong mama. That's right. The best thing for you to do with Kangaskhan is treat it with love. Otherwise, you'll be on the end of her iron fists. You know, all things considered, I don't think Kangaskhan is a good mother. I think she's a great mother. After all, a great mother would go above and beyond for her own loved ones. She would do anything she can to protect them, and of course, she would try to make everything that she can suitable and livable as well as happy for her children. Well, that's exactly what Kangaskhan does. I cannot think of a better Pokemon than her to cover today for Mother's Day. Well, I think that we should learn everything that Kangaskhan does and why we should praise this Pokemon. Today is her day. It's Mother's Day, and I think it should also be for Kangaskhan. Well, before we learn all about Kangaskhan, I want to give a very special thanks to my collaboration partner, Professor Sassafras, aka Halo Gaming. You were the one who gave me the idea to do Kangaskhan today? Well, thank you so much, Professor. I hope that you enjoyed this video because you were the one who came up with it and you earned all the credit for it. I also want to give a very special thanks to all the mothers out there, not just in the world of Pokemon, but all of them. Even my own mother. Because of her telling me to keep going, never giving up, and making every way possible for me to be in a safe environment as well as in a safe place, I can't ask for a better mother than the one I have. Well, I've given a lot of people thank you, but there's one last person I'm going to thank today. I want to give a very special thanks to Etsy artist Techronova for my shirt. This one is called The Fire Lizard Within. If you really like these shirts that I wear in my videos, you can buy them on Etsy. I have a link to Techronova's page in the description below, so please check her out. Since we're talking about Cantonian Pokemon today, I couldn't think of a better shirt than this one. Also, if you're trying to look for a good Mother's Day gift, why not check out something on Etsy? I'm not saying that you should buy a t-shirt like this, but if your mother happens to be a big Pokemon fan, I'm pretty sure Techronova has you covered. After all, she makes amazing shirts, and one of them has gotta be one of your mother's favorite Pokemon. So please check out Techronova, please buy a shirt from her, and please tell her Professor Palm sent ya. I may not be sponsored, but I want to say thank you for this incredible design and for helping me with this video. It's no surprise that as we grow older, we become parents and even get parenting skills. Well, I think it's time that we learn how to grow up and be good parents just like Kangaskhan itself. So, it's time to learn the ways of parenting with our teacher, Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan, the parent Pokemon, is based on the marsupial, the kangaroo, specifically the tree kangaroo, given its stockier build, wider face, and large nails. The baby in Kangaskhan's pouch is based on a baby kangaroo, otherwise known as a joey. For the habitat of a Kangaskhan, they can be found with other Kangaskhan's living in savannas and other grasslands. They watch over one another like a big happy family, and in this family, no one gets left behind. While we all know that Kangaskhan are an entirely female-only Pokemon, some early Pokedex entries specifically mention only female Kangaskhan. This may imply that it's possible there are male Kangaskhan out there, but we have never seen them in over 26 years. It does beg the question, what would a male Kangaskhan look like? With female-only Pokemon, it was nothing new as we had a few introduced in Generation 1 with Nidoran female, Nidorita, Nidoqueen, Chansey, and Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan was the only standout one until Generation 3 because Chansey received an evolution with Blissey in Generation 2, while Kangaskhan received nothing, so until Generation 3, it was the only standalone female Pokemon incapable of evolution. Despite Kangaskhan's size, and the fact that it has a baby in its pouch adding a little extra weight to it, Kangaskhan is surprisingly limber and it's very quick on its feet. Kangaskhan is also somewhat of a boxer, because this Pokemon packs a massive Comet Punch whatever it hits. Because of all the impact it can do with all those punches, this has earned Kangaskhan a nickname, Big Mama. Kangaskhan never puts parenting on hold. Even in battle, Kangaskhan will never give up no matter how badly wounded it is. Kangaskhan will do everything it can to protect its young, as that little baby gives it its motivation and its power to win. Other than using its child for motivation and power, Kangaskhan also uses it to show no weakness, as it always fears that it's weak if it shows any signs of pain or anything that makes it look like it can't win a fight. The word weakness does not exist to a Kangaskhan. If Kangaskhan need to rest for the night, they sleep standing up. This is because Kangaskhan worries so much about their child that they do not want to crush their babies. You could make the argument that Kangaskhan can just lie on its back and have the baby sleep on its belly, but maybe it's possible that Kangaskhan worries about its surroundings, mainly other Pokemon that could attack it while it's sleeping, and maybe even the baby falling off its belly. That might be the reason why it cannot lie on its back when sleeping. Kangaskhan will raise its offspring in its belly pouch. The baby Kangaskhan rarely ventures out of its mother's protective pouch until it turns 3 years old. As soon as the babies are let out of the pouch for the first time, they have a little bit of a hard time walking, but Kangaskhan helped them. After that, they learn very easily how to walk and they go everywhere they can be because they're very curious about all of their surroundings. Since the mother is so fond of the baby, this is the only time you will ever see a Kangaskhan cry because it misses its baby and it's so sad that the baby Kangaskhan is gone from the pouch. If you come across a young Kangaskhan playing by itself, heed my warning and never disturb it, never attempt to catch it, and never attempt to take it away from where it is. Its mother is always watching over it, and it will become violently enraged at you. And let me tell you, that is dreadful. If you were to make the baby cry, bring any harm to it, or make it feel unsafe, you just bought yourself a one-way ticket to the emergency room or the morgue, because Kangaskhan's rage and anger is unlike anything you have ever seen. It will never subside. Kangaskhan has zero forgiveness to anything that harms its child. It will beat to a bloody pulp anything that hurts or threatens the baby. This Pokemon is so fast and so strong, you can't win a fight against it, and you can never outrun an enraged Kangaskhan. Since the babies love to wander, Kangaskhan is always watching it. If the babies go somewhere that could be dangerous or someplace Kangaskhan fears, Kangaskhan will toughen up and always follow the child. Not only will Kangaskhan go above and beyond for the child, it will even do anything it can to save it from any possible threat that's coming at it. Even if it's a life or death situation, Kangaskhan will brave death just to save her baby. Parental bonds are very strong with Kangaskhan. In fact, other than its own baby, there have been other Kangaskhan that have been known to raise other Pokemon that are orphans. There are even records existing that claim that some childless Kangaskhan have raised lost human children as their own. That just proves that Kangaskhan is a mother whose love knows no bounds. As powerful as Big Mama is, in Generation 6, we learned just how powerful the baby is and how much it's learned from its mother when it introduced Mega Evolution. That's right, in Generation 6, Kangaskhan was one of the handful of Pokemon that could Mega Evolve into Mega Kangaskhan. And the coolest thing about Kangaskhan when it Mega Evolves is now its baby fights with it. That's right, the two of them fight together harmoniously, and even the baby does a second hit in battle. Thanks to Mega Evolution, the child has grown rapidly. With the Mega Energy that the baby now possesses, the mother and the child show their harmonious teamwork when they fight in battle. Mega Kangaskhan's strength comes from the happiness of her child's growth. Watching the child grows up keeps her spirit high, and it makes them both an unstoppable team. As happy as the Mama Kangaskhan is to see the back of her Mega Evolved child fighting, it does make her even more worried than ever, as her child will be getting closer to leaving her, and she also worries how the child will fend for itself, making this a bit of a bittersweet battle for her. It's pretty ironic that our parents always taught us, don't do wrestling and don't do fighting, it won't get you anywhere. Well, watching its mother fight and never standing down really inspired the baby. I guess it learned from the best. Kangaskhan made its anime debut in the Pokemon Indigo League episode, The Kangaskhan Kid, where one of the Kangaskhan was watching over a wild boy named Tommy, who was dropped by his parents in the Safari Zone. The bond between Tommy and all the Kangaskhan was so strong that not only did he protect them, but he also knew how to speak Kangaskhan and other Pokemon as well. If you go out and catch yourself a wild Kangaskhan, it can have one of two abilities, being the first one, Early Bird, or the second one, Scrappy. A Kangaskhan with the ability Early Bird awakens from sleep twice as fast as any other Pokemon, so fights will never be put on hold. A Kangaskhan with the ability Scrappy allows it to hit Ghost-type Pokemon with normal and fighting-type moves, making it as if it used the move Foresight. So, now there's not a single Pokemon that can avoid a baby mama beatdown from Kangaskhan. And in Pokemon X and Y, when Kangaskhan achieves Mega Evolution and becomes Mega Kangaskhan, it gains a new ability, being Parental Bond, which allows the mother and the child to attack together. So, with every move, it's like they're using the move Double Hit. And for those of you who like to battle competitively using hidden abilities introduced in Generation 5, Kangaskhan also has one. Its hidden ability is Inner Focus, which prevents it from flinching. As you know, it's not right to mess with an angry mama. Well, her muscles are nothing to be laughed at. They're not for show. They are for beating anything that hurts her or her child. Kangaskhan is so strong that it had not one, but two signature moves back in Generation 1. And they were Comet Punch and, of course, Dizzy Punch. Let me just tell you, she packs a mean iron fist. Kangaskhan is also owned by none other than a woman named Joanna, who you may know as your own mother in the Sinnoh region. In Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl, sometimes when you enter contests, your own mother will also enter them with you. She uses a Kangaskhan by the name of Jumpy. I gotta say, I find it so funny that your own mother uses a mother Pokemon in contests. In the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, Kangaskhan owns the storage shop in Pokemon Square and Treasure Town. She has a big heart and calls the player things like Sweetie and Dear, because she really likes to have business and always treats everybody as if they're family. Kangaskhan must have been running very good business, because in Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, she's now the owner and runs Cafe Connection shops, which run all across the game in all the continents found in various towns. Alright, it's time to move into battle. Kangaskhan, being a normal type Pokemon, only has one weakness, and that thankfully is fighting type Pokemon. Unfortunately, normal type Pokemon are the only Pokemon typing that have no strengths. So yeah, Kangaskhan only has weaknesses. The only other thing going for Kangaskhan is immunities. Being a normal type Pokemon, it doesn't have any super effective moves on ghost type Pokemon, as all of the normal moves will pass through. But thankfully, being a normal type Pokemon, it also cannot be hurt by ghost type Pokemon. Then again, with the ability Scrappy, some Kangaskhan have the ability to hurt ghost type Pokemon. But all in all, it's not going to be super effective, and it only will work as an immunity on both ends. While this is only speculation, it's highly possible that the baby Kangaskhan was going to be a single Pokemon as well. Do you remember the Pokemon MissingNo? Well, you see, if you were to evolve MissingNo, it would turn into a Kangaskhan. You might be asking yourself, how is that possible? It's a flying type and Kangaskhan is a normal typing. Well, it's highly possible that originally Kangaskhan was going to be a one-stage Pokemon, being the baby and then it evolves into Kangaskhan. It's just a theory, thankfully, but it does make you wonder, do you think that originally it was going to evolve but it was scrapped at last minute and only the code was left in? It does make me wonder a lot. Do you think it would have been an item that the baby would have needed to evolve into Kangaskhan? Or do you think it would have been at a level? It also possibly could have been at a specific location. Unfortunately, we will never know. Since Kangaskhan was one of the first confirmed Pokemon to have a baby, I've always wondered, why did they not make a baby Kangaskhan in Generation 2? After all, the Johto region introduced a lot of baby Pokemon. Don't you think that would have been perfect for a baby Kangaskhan? Well, the only time Kangaskhan has ever been explored further was in Generation 6 when they introduced Mega Evolution. Well, I think it's kinda cool that it got a Mega Evolution. It sadly didn't really explain a lot with the baby. Maybe one day Pokemon will come back and make it its own Pokemon. Maybe they won't. But whatever the case is, I really do want to learn more about the baby. In the world of Pokemon, there is no shortage of Pokemon that are mothers. But out of all of them, I really think Kangaskhan stands out the most, as not only is it taking care of a child, but it always goes above and beyond just to protect the child from anything. That is one of the greatest things that any mother Pokemon could do. It wants the best for the child, and of course, it will never give up as the child gives it motivation and power. Even though the mother is often very worried about the baby and its future, I'd say that when it Mega Evolves, it's really done a great job teaching its child how to defend itself and also taking care of it. Because now the child also wants to fight with its mother and always be by their side. Kangaskhan is a great parent, and it really did teach its child the most valuable lessons in life. After all, mother knows best. A bond between a mother and a child is sometimes the strongest thing out there, and in Pokemon, I don't think I've ever seen a bond stronger than these two have. Kangaskhan will never abandon its child, and it will always go above and beyond to do anything it can. But not just its child, Kangaskhan will also watch over other Pokemon and even abandoned children. I think it's so beautiful that Kangaskhan's motherly instincts know no bounds. It's a mother that loves the child to death. Nothing alive can ever break those bonds. If you happen to own a Kangaskhan, or you catch one today, I think that this Pokemon also deserves to celebrate Mother's Day. Not just because it's a mother Pokemon, but because of all that it's done. Today is a day that we should honor Kangaskhan. It's a great mother, and it really knows how to raise Pokemon. It could even raise you on your journey. So, if you think that you're homesick and you need someone to be around, Kangaskhan is the best Pokemon to be around. Happy Mother's Day, Kangaskhan! Thank you for all you've done, and you've been an amazing mother to that baby.
Hello again, trainers! Did you learn a lot about being a parent as well as how great of a parent Kangaskhan is? Well, before we go, I want to ask you a few questions. When it comes to parental Pokemon, who do you think did it best? With all the baby Pokemon that we have out there, would it make sense for Pokemon to one day make the Kangaskhan baby its own baby Pokemon to join all the others we have? Do you go with the MissingNo theory that Kangaskhan originally had a first evolution, or do you think it was more one of the Pokemon that originally was going to belong to the Cubone line, but it was changed later on as development went on? And of course, what are you doing for Mother's Day? Or are you a mom and you're already just celebrating Mother's Day and you're just tuning in?
I gotta say, I hope that whatever's going on, you're with your mother or you're with your loved ones today, because Mother's Day is a great day to spend with everyone that you love. Professor Sassafras, out of every Pokemon I could have covered today, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said cover Kangaskhan. What a perfect choice and a perfect Pokemon to cover for Mother's Day. I hope that all of you have a great Mother's Day. Well, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you have any questions, you want to answer the ones I threw out at you, you want me to cover something else Pokemon related, or you want me to cover another Pokemon line, please comment. And as always, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, smash that subscribe button. Happy Mother's Day once again, trainers, and I hope you have a wonderful day with your mothers and your loved ones. Thanks for watching. Palm out!